Hi guys and everyone, welcome to WrestleSphere. Just had a wonderful chat with Jason Baker from Colosseum Studios about his memories with Bray Wyatt, about his thoughts on the Wyatt Sicks in WWE, working with Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas, and so much more. Besides that, thank you so much for checking this out. It's the first of a two-part interview. We talk about the film stuff over on ScreenSphere as well. So yes, check this one out and then go and check that one out as well. Thank you so much for your support of our work, and of course support the Wyatt Sicks, support Jason Baker, Bo Dallas, and of course the legacy of Bray Wyatt. Cheers for watching. Thanks very much. All right, so Jason, I appreciate you joining me, even though you're a little bit under the weather today. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
the
man.
time. It's always good to catch you.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, I sound horrible. I don't know what it was. I went to something got me. It's not COVID, so I'm
it's,
good. I just
it's,
gotta
it's good.
keep shotgun and Dayquil and the chicken noodle
It,
soup. I'm sure I'll be right as rain in a day or two.
I don't know,
So
it gives you like a nice husk,
yeah,
it's like, like an audiobook voice, it's that
yeah.
kind of,
No, I used to always joke about like when I'd be in meetings for with WWE and Triple H has got this amazing gravelly voice and
yeah.
Bray had this awesome deep voice, and Rob Fee's got this deep voice, and then I talk and I sound like fucking Mickey Mouse. So
Maybe you keep, yeah,
it's just,
keep,
and like all these guys got these like awesome, like not, and then the rib is that I'm the only one that actually smokes cigars, and all of them like sound like they're just like these like hard like whiskey drinking dudes, and then I'm the one who actually like smokes cigars, and I sound like a 12-year-old. So that was always the fun joke about working with
yeah.
those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, aside from again feeling a little bit under the weather, how is the mood in general for you at the moment? Packed with projects. We'll obviously touch on a couple of them, but you are as ever, every time I speak to you, every year, busy person. How is the vibe at the moment
Oh, everything's
in the
great, man.
studio and everything? Yeah,
Having a blast. Just working, I mean, no complaints.
good.
I mean, I love what I do, and I wake up every morning excited to go to work. So there's nothing to bitch about.
Yeah, it is the dream. I always use you as an example of what can be done. I think just with I always like how you describe yourself on social media like the professional monster kid. And I love that about you. I think that's a
Yeah.
really real positive example for people of if you follow your ideas, a good idea and a dream. Obviously the studio comes out of it. The collaboration with Tom Savini. I think it's a great example for people to follow for sure.
Oh, well, thanks,
Um,
man. Yeah, no, I've been really blessed to have people like Tom take me under their wing, and I just kind of so by doing that, I feel like I just had to always prove my worth to him. So I hopefully, if Tom sees this, I'm sure, hopefully I have. So.
I would say so, and obviously it's great to see you featured in articles now talking about the projects you're in, in your own right as a respected person in film, in television, obviously in FX as well. And again, before we begin the interview process, I just want to say congratulations, and it is all done from hard work, so you deserve it, mate. You know what I mean? It's great to see.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, no, absolutely, man. I mean, obviously, I think I want to start. We'll talk about the film work in a little bit and the effects work. I do want to start because I think it's been a while since we saw each other. Obviously, the passing of Windham is still very, very it matters to a lot of people in the wrestling world, and obviously you were very connected with Bray Wyatt, with Windham Rotunda, and the wider Wyatt universe. And I guess I remember seeing you in the documentary that came out, and I was obviously overjoyed to see you in that, even though it was a very sad thing to watch. A lot of people experienced a lot of emotion watching that. I certainly did. And we've obviously recently seen the debut and the emergence of the Wyatt Six, which has filled a lot of people with a lot of joy. So I wanted to sort of get your insight really into those initial conversations with Taylor about honoring Wyndham's legacy and the creation of the Wyatt Six. Obviously, working with Rob Fee, working with WWE, of course, but it was you in that doc, looking at all the work you've done, the masks, and kind of looking at the legacy of Wyndham. So for you, can you give me some insight into how some of those conversations were and how important honoring that legacy has been with Taylor?
Um, yeah, I mean, you're giving me a lot more credit than I think I deserve because, there's a lot of people came together. It wasn't just me, I mean, everybody from the top of WWE all the way down, and then, and including us, everybody all had the same goal was, we wanted to make sure that Wyndham's legacy was honored, and we did all this, and this was something that Wyndham wanted so much for his brother. And so, taking that and, running with it was everyone that thought was at the forefront of everyone's mind. And so, just everyone from Triple H, from Rob to the creative team, and everyone just all collaborating together. Like, I don't think, obviously there's people that are like much higher up on the food chain that make the executive decisions. And I'm just so grateful that we got to be, I got to be like a small cog in the wheel. And just getting to work with Bo, continuing everything that him and his brother started together. And then, bringing back in Rowan, which, Rowan is, one of my favorite people on the planet. The guy was, he was one of the groomsmen at my wedding. Getting to work with Nikki again, she's phenomenal. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. And then, getting to work with guys like, and then getting to work with Dexter and Gacy, who are two guys that we were talking to for years about trying to like kind of click and groove and come up with something and everything. And then sort of having all of this sort of fall into everyone's lap was almost in a way, I don't want to say serendipitous, but it was definitely this mindset of taking this horrible situation of losing Wyndham and trying to, keep his legacy alive and also just keep everything going with it. So I'm very proud of everything that everyone accomplished. There's again, it would by no means was it just me. There were so many people that, will never ever get the credit that they deserve. Who, everyone from, WWE's creative team to the writers to the, producers, the showrunners, and then even people, like Triple H was very hands-on with all of it. Um, you know, genius mind, Triple H. And so, again, I'm just so glad that I got to kind of, come and eat at the big kids table.
Again, deserved, absolutely. And I mean the debut, the live television debut, obviously that I think will go down as just one of the most incredible productions is the word I'm looking for. And the way it was done, the way everything was timed. What was it like for you? Again, I know that you were a small part of the team, but how did you feel when it all began, when that went out, when that first reemergence happened, Nikki points to the back and everything, it felt like a horror movie. I was like, it felt like a film, and I loved it as a fan. So for you, what was that like to see? Because obviously you were involved in Bray's return as well, both very big productions almost. How was that for you to sort of see that come out and see your work and the work of that team that you just alluded to come to fruition in such a, I would argue, perfect way? I couldn't have improved it, even in my wildest creative dreams, personally.
Yeah. No, again, just like I said earlier, man, there's a lot people, a lot more people higher up. And and it was just one of those things. It was really cool to see like everyone at WWE just clicking and grooving that day and making that happen. And, again, I think it's really just a testament to how much faith Paul Triple H has and everyone working for him at the time to do something of that magnitude. Because, there's zero margin for error. Is the fact that it's live, it's a one shot. There's special effects and camera movements and bodies and all these things. There's so many variables of, one thing. If one thing would have gone wrong, it would have just instantly, kiboshed the whole thing. But the fact that he had so much faith in everybody is just a true testament to his leadership skills and just how creative he truly is. And just seeing like this new wave of things just makes me excited as a fan, and just getting to like, again, be this small little part of it is so much fun.
Yeah. It sounds exciting. It sounds exciting to hear you speak about it. Could you give me an insight into, because again, you work with, some of the most intelligent minds across film and television, and as well as wrestling to create some of the work that you do. When you are talking to Bo, to Taylor, about this, and obviously, you've got to work with a wider team as well. What are some of the similarities and differences you found working with Taylor and Bo Dallas, um, to when you were working with Wyndham?
Um, I mean, dude, you definitely tell they're brothers. They are, they are two sides of the same coin. Both just always, firing off ideas and just the way they think about everything. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see how not only their love for the theatrics and the storytelling and everything, but also the ring psychology that is just almost like genetic to them at this point.
Mm.
I mean, they're both third generation wrestlers, so it's almost instinctive in a way. So getting to see that is just such a beauty. It's such a treat. It was with Wyndham, like just hearing, like ring psychology to both of them is so second nature. And just seeing how they come up with their ideas and everything, it's just this really cool process. It's like watching a great actor like come up with his or her characters and their process and what theirs should be. So so sometimes all you do is you just got to sit back and just watch and just listen and they come to you and you're like, yeah, man, that's great. Let's do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. In terms of the gear and everything, because that was, you had a hand in that. I loved the gauntlet that was done. Re kind of purposed Fiend and Bray stuff for the Howdy stuff. When you're visualizing that gear, again, there's a lot. I'm not going to say a lot of pressure, but the character is getting reintroduced. Obviously, it has. I'm talking about Uncle Howdy here. Has a lot of good faith with fans, but when you're coming up with the design, that the jacket, all of it was really well done from my side as a viewer. Well, what is that process like for you? What kind of when you talk about the gear, when you're talking about that again the gauntlet there, really cool details, and of course all the details matter in this universe. So, what is that like for you when you're coming up with the Howdy gear and you're coming up with these little details for the universe, for the WWE universe and the Bray fans and the Wyatt verse fans to unpick, which obviously they continue to do.
yeah, I mean, again, that is you're giving me a lot more credit. That was all Bo and Wyndham and Bray. That's the thing that I just miss the most about Wyndham is Wyndham's been gone for over a year, and I still feel like he's still getting one over on me all the time. Like these little things just happen, and you're just like, he had this planned. He totally like Bo and I talk about it all the time. Is like things will Bo will mention something that like Bray told him, and then I'll mention something that Bray told me, and then we kind of realize that like they're two halves of a puzzle piece, and we're like, oh
Wow.
my God, brother was like doing, and it's just like, man. And example was um when we were doing everything for the documentary, and so side note, the whole look of Uncle Howdy was all Bo's idea. That was all Bo and little bit of the creative team, but it was mainly just Bo and my wife Mandy doing all the like soft goods and everything, and the creative team. I really had like no hand, I had little inputs here and there, but that was like they're the ones who really like spearheaded the whole Uncle Howdy project. But what was cool is I was talking with Bo, and Bo shows me this jacket that his brother bought him. I don't know where they were, somewhere on tour or something, and he comes out and he's like, "Dude, check this out! I got you this jacket, and I got one for myself." This is what Bo told me, and then that was the jacket that Bo came back with for Uncle Howdy. Well, when we were finishing up the new Fiend for the documentary, I was talking to their mother, Stephanie. And I was like, hey, Stephanie, we're playing around with some different jackets and nothing's clicking, nothing's grooving. Is there like anything that you think Wyndham would have liked, just trying to get their input? Because, when we were doing all of it, I'd reach out to their mother and their sister and Bo and JoJo and just, because I'm like, I can't finish this without his family's input. Like I need you guys. You guys knew more than anybody. Like please, like, and they were so amazing and so accommodating, and just the fact that, they were willing to just deal with that is, just such a wonderful blessing for everybody who got to see it. But anyways, so Stephanie out of the blue sends me this picture and she's like, "Is this the jacket you're talking about?" And it's the same, it's the jacket that's on the Fiend now, but it matches Uncle Howdy's. And I'm like, he totally had this planned out. Like, when, like, it didn't even tell me, didn't tell anybody, but that was just true. Wyndham was, he would just do things and have them planned, and then he would be like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, like, oh yeah, I had this planned a year ago, check this out." Or like he just pulls something out and you're just like, so again, he's been gone over a year and still just getting ones over on us. So the fact that like that was this beautiful, like, serendipitous moment, that if you look, Uncle Howdy's jacket matches the new Fiend. And that, I mean, obviously we never spoke about it while he was here, but I'm like, come on, Wyndham had that planned. Like, you
Yeah,
don't just buy two matching jackets for you and your brother who are working together
yeah.
and not pull the trigger on them.
It's a great story. It reminds me of David Bowie, that kind of mind where he's
Yeah.
thinking like 10 years ahead,
Yeah.
really, still music's coming out now and you're like, whoa, it's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. And then again, a great creative mind.